Okay, cool. Okay. Hello everybody, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. Just setting up a few other final things and we can start programming our flight plan and things like that. Let's get some brightness up on the aircraft. So we're heading from Brussels to Manchester, which by the looks of it is at a snow warning up to 9 PM tonight UK time, so hopefully we might see some dynamic weather coming in as we make our way there. So let's trigger some of those pre-flight events. We want our APU on as well. So at Brussels we are connected to the VATSIM network, but my usual look has meant that by the time we've actually logged on for this trip, we've Brussels Tower have logged off. So at the minute we'll be setting up and flying out blind ourselves. Interestingly enough, oh there we go, I clicked the wrong button. So whilst we've got catering, baggage going on and all the rest of it, we will go ahead and set up a few other bits, including our flight plan. God, I've got so many windows open. At this rate I'm going to need 4 screens. Rob, yeah, I do use Unreal Weather, free to download of course, which makes it even better. Is it lock main panel? Yes. So I can hide that. And I can hide that one. So I can show you guys very quickly via window capture our route. So we've generated, let's see if I can drag this from this other screen to here. Sky vector. So we've generated our route and on SimBrief, and we've got that DENUT 7 Lima departure onto the 610 airway to Lambourne, UN 57 to Welin, Tango 420 to Trent, and then the Dane 2 Alpha arrival at Manchester Airport. Manchester Airport is the MacoSim payware early access airport. I think it's been updated again today, so we're going to check out a few of the bits that might have been added in. And for those of you who like to visualise the route like I do before we fly, it looks something like that. So starting off down there at Brussels, and then we're going to head over the English Channel, directly over Southend-on-Sea, turning left just north of London, and then heading up to Manchester, passing over East Midlands on the way in. We've got all our charts ready for our departure at Brussels as well. We're taking the DENUT 7 Lima departure from runway 19, I think it is. Yep. So after departure at 1,700 feet we make a sharp right turn to head back on ourselves before taking the route that takes us up to the very top left of the map, as you can see there. We're using Chrome, so I can't draw on the map today, unfortunately. And there's our ground charts as well. We're at stand 151, I believe, or 149, right? It's hard to tell with the default sometimes because of the way that the default aircraft and things have been added in. It can be quite frustrating at times. So just activate the tracking for the trip with Fly UK. And let's put that into European money. So we're using the A320nX Flybywire mod, as we always do, and we're going EBBR / Echo Golf Charlie Charlie. No company routes, and our call sign which I can add into here so people can do the text thing, is easy853. Diversion will be Birmingham, and we need to generate a flight plan with SimBrief properly so that we actually get generated at least some sort of target cruise altitude for us to aim for. Barry, welcome, nice to see you tuning in. Ian, welcome. I can't remember actually, it's a good question. A little while ago somebody created a file for it, I believe, and put it onto a Discord server somewhere for everybody to use, and I've just used it from there really. So SimBrief is telling us we've got a cruise of flight level 180, which is just ridiculous, so we'll do 300. Flight plan. So we know we're going to depart on runway 19. And we've got that DENUT 7 Lima departure there in the MCDU, so we'll just put it on plan mode so we can see what we're putting in. So when I select that as well, I'll show you guys, as we saw on the charts, after departure it's very quickly a sharp right turn back on ourselves via those bro things and then up to DENUT. So we'll return to the temporary flight plan, and from DENUT we want the Lima 610 airway to Rapix. Now I wonder if this will cause us problems. And there we go. The two screens is a little issue for me sometimes, so I've inadvertently pressed the red X on that. Hello Ludos, welcome. Just lost my flight plan, so bear with me. Lima 610, wasn't it, to Rapix? I think this was the one that was going to cause us an issue potentially. But that's gone in, so good. And then the Lima 610 airway to Lambourne. Uniform November 5-7 airway to WELIN. We can see it will be getting all input there, so we're building that flight plan. We've got to WELIN so far, and then it's the Tango 420 to Trent, and Trent's Tango November Tango. There we go, that's built in there nicely, so we insert that, and then we head down. You could click it straight away, but what I like to do is make sure Trent's at the very top, so we can actually zoom in on our flight plan, and we can then program our DENUT 2 Alpha arrival. Expecting runway 27 right for, was it 23 right for landing? ILS 23 right via the DENUT 2 Alpha. So you can see there, DENUT's been input in the sim. It happens with quite a few default airports, annoyingly. Hopefully it'll be changed soon with the UK update. But from DENUT, the charts become a gap, basically. And there was a conversation on Discord about this the other day. In reality, air traffic control would then vector you north somewhere to then route round to intercept the ILS for runway 23. But there's a gap in the charts between that DANE star, along with the other stars as well, and then the actual ILS charts, the plates for the runway itself. So most of them all focus on MCT, so the sim actually is displaying it correctly as per the charts, but in reality aircraft don't really fly that route from what I've seen. And again, we could do no vires, but the sim doesn't recognise that, so it doesn't let us put it in, annoyingly. So no vires should then trigger us to go up north, but it still forces you to via that MCT VOR. Quite annoying, but hopefully they get it fixed. So there's our route. We can actually then head back into our init B page at this point, and we can do zero fuel weight, centre of gravity. So for that, what I like to do is empty the tanks, and then you select your payload. This is the very quickest way to do it. Get your payload sorted so that you're happy with the values. Let's do loads in economy. So we've got that central gravity at the very top of 23.49, and our zero fuel weight, which would be at the very bottom here, the total 55.68 tonne. That is the quickest way to do that, guys. In the meantime, I'll just fill out the outer tanks again, and we can enter those details into those zero fuel weight, the top line there. So we've got 55.68 / 23.49, which will probably round itself up to 23.5, and then we've got fuel planning thanks to the mod, so we can go ahead and just click that, and it's telling us that including the diversion to Birmingham with a 5% route reserve, half-hour flying time, it's estimating that we will need 3.4 tonnes of fuel for the trip. So we'll do, let's see, it was 20. They do need to create a better way. 3403. We'll see what values that gives us when we're en route. Although I'm going to do 21% each way. There we go. So we've got 3.5 tonnes instead. We can just go ahead for our fuel calculations. We can just manually update that, so we can force 3.5 tonne into there, and then quite a few bits change, as we can see, along with our fuel prediction page as well. Let me just bring up the charts again, because I fat-fingeredly lost them. So we push back, face east, and then we're going to taxi Romeo 4 across to Outer 7, and then hold at Echo 7 for departure on runway 19 by the looks of the charts. Let's see. Hello Flappy Boy, welcome. Yeah, Rob, it's probably one of the most frustrating things on the sim at the moment, the way that all of that is processed. On VATSIM, if you don't get any IFR clearance or anything at the start of your trip, then add the squawk codes of 2000 or 2200, and that will help the controllers recognise that you might not have had any clearance or anything as yet. Let's have a look at vPilot while we're here. Still nothing. And Brussels METAR at the moment, generated about half an hour ago now. It was 190 at 18 knots for wind, all the nines, so very good visibility. A few clouds at 3,600 feet, 6 degrees with a dew point of 0 degrees, and then a QNH quite low, 984. But it's also tells us that the winds are 190 degrees at 15 knots, but gusting 25, which is quite difficult. Well, it's quite strong, actually, not difficult. If it's a headwind on the runway as well, it's actually going to make it a breeze for departure potentially. So that's unreal weather, as we saw on the top of that tab there. He's gone already. Interesting. I didn't select for that till it. Where's Pushback Express? Yeah, I didn't select that, but hey ho. And I just need to go ahead and put our flight plan into VATSIM. So as we are en route, the controllers along the way can EBBR to EGCC. So let's file that. Fetch from the server. Yeah, I don't tend to go on to multiplayer that much, to be honest. I'm only going to be doing that for the group flight coming up on Sunday. And then we should all be visible to one another on the day. Let's see, so APU's bled, park brakes, everything are on. Let's go ahead and push back. Cool. Brussels traffic, EasyJet on apron 1 south is going to push back facing east. Just a quick announcement to let people know what we're doing, but it's not necessarily needed today.
Engine start.
Roger, release the parking brakes please.
His beacon's on though, so he's probably going to be pushing back shortly.
Pushing back.
So it may be an issue for us. And we're going to use the Luke Air tool again today, which is a free add-on.
Brussels traffic, Lufthansa 1262, position report. We are 15 nautical miles east from airfield. We are inbound X-ray 104, then we fly base to intercept the ILS localizer runway 19. We will land ILS approach runway 19. Next information when we are on the ILS, Lufthansa 1362.
So pushback started. There we go, that's Skytrack just catching up there. And let's go ahead and start engine 2. So interestingly, that guy over there is pushing back as well, but he's not announced it either on text or voice. And we can go ahead, whilst we're sorting all this out, we can go ahead and start that safety demonstration.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board our easyJet service. Please place your large bags into the overhead locker, wheels first.
Well, it's a bit late for that one. Let's stop that one.
We now ask for your attention.
There we go.
While we take you through the safety procedures on this aircraft. A safety card is in your seat pocket, showing the exit route, oxygen masks, life jackets, and brace position that you must adopt to hear brace, brace. There are 2 emergency exits at the rear, 4 in the middle, and 2
Just watching
at
that
the front
ECAM.
of the cabin.
Engine 2's available, so let's start engine 1.
Please be aware that your nearest exit may be behind you. In an emergency, leave all cabin baggage on board.
And there's a nice neat pushback for us.
Adjust it and release as shown. It must be fastened when the seat
Stop the
belt
tug.
sign is on,
Complete.
and we
Set
recommend
parking
that
brakes
the seat
please.
is fastened at all times.
Parking brake set.
Roger. Okay, let's advise disconnected and the equipment is clear. We will see you on the left side of the pit.
Thanks, and you can disconnect and go to hand signals.
Thanks. Have a good flight. See you later.
Hold in place with the strap. Pull on each side to adjust. Put on your own mask before helping others. If you land on water, take the life jacket from under your seat. Put it over your head. Pass the tapes around your waist. Click together and pull the strap to adjust. Do not inflate it inside the aircraft. When outside, inflate by pulling the toggle. If it fails to inflate or needs topping up, blow the
Engine 1's available.
There is a light and whistle for attracting attention.
So let's go ignition mode
We
norm.
also carry flotation aids for children. Your tray tables must now be stowed, armrest down, window blinds open.
Put the taxi
and
light on as well. Flaps
we
to
wish
1,
you a pleasant flight with easyJet.
and then speed brake armed. That's the cabin secure as well, but it sounds of it. And yet, Luke, Pushback Express FS2 crew is what we're using. Brussels traffic, easy 853, taxiing via Romeo 4 and Outer 7 to hold Echo 7, runway 19. Be good to see it, if this guy was announcing what he was doing as well. Go auto brake max, and we can go onto that takeoff config menu. We just wait for that cabin secure. And he's going to be an hour away somewhat, so we'll probably have to wait for him.
Brussels traffic, Lufthansa 1360, report fully established ILS approach runway 19. We are 9 nautical miles out. We continue to land. Lufthansa 1360, Brussels traffic.
So he's just taxiing without announcing, but hey ho. We'll just follow him. People, whenever you use VATSIM, it's difficult when people aren't announcing anything at all to sort of understand what their intentions are. So even if it is a pointless announcement, talking to yourself like I just did for taxiing, just announce your position anyway, because there may be someone elsewhere in the airport, or the Lufthansa flight that's on the way in, for example. It's nice for him to know what we're doing as well, whether or not we'll be an issue or not. Luke, definitely is recommended. Pushback Express. The fact that you can create all rudder control, including forward motion as well, is quite good for VATSIM. But more importantly, you can actually now also use it for what's this guy doing? There's that Brussels flight racing to get to the runway as well. Good grief, what are people doing today? So Brussels Airlines is off over there. He's going to depart. This guy's going to depart in front as well, and then we're going to head off. All on Unicom, but I'm the only one that's actually doing any talking at the moment for aircraft on the ground. I'm not sure if FS2 crew are still doing any forms of deals for Pushback Express, but I know I covered their Black Friday deal that they were doing a little while ago, and it was I think 30% off, which is very good. May still be in place now, I'm not quite sure. Let's get cabin secure. So there's that Lufthansa flight in the distance coming in. So realistically, he shouldn't taxi on. He should depart. The Brussels Airlines flight should depart, and this guy here, whoever he is, should be waiting as well, out of courtesy. Nice long runway. We'll take the intersection. We did say we were going to taxi to Echo 7. This guy's just literally doing his own thing, so not particularly VATSIM friendly. Brussels traffic, easy 853. There's a Brussels Airlines flight departing right now on runway 19. I will hold at Echo 7 pending the Lufthansa flight and finals. There we go. So we'll just hold here, wait for that Lufthansa traffic to land. Even when there's no air traffic control on or anything like that on VATSIM, it's always good just to, at the very least, announce your position and things just to help people out. That guy's been telling us his position on the way in, so it's only fair that we tell him our position on the ground as well to make sure we don't conflict. So he knows now from what I've said I'm not going to be a problem for him, and that Brussels Airlines flight has cleared the runway, he's gone. So we'll just wait for this guy. Pretty sure it said it was a Lufthansa flight or something like that. What have we got? Oh, it is Lufthansa, lovely. Woo! Our Brussels traffic Easy 853 is lining up runway 19. Let's go. Landing lights, nose lights are takeoff, strobes are on. We're not in a particular rush because we'll give this guy a chance to get off the runway.
Brussels traffic, Lufthansa 1262, runway vacated, Echo 4.
Dankeschön, and Easy 853 is departing runway 19. So for takeoff in the Airbus, push the stick forwards, as you can see on that primary flight display now where the little crosshairs are. Move it forwards to that sort of position until you get to 80 to 100 knots, and then you gradually bring that back into a neutral position. So you've got thrusters set.
Brussels ground traffic, Lufthansa 1262, taxiing on
80 knots. We'll ease that
Romeo 4 to
back to the neutral position. Take the pressure off the nose, V1.
Correction 169,
Rotate.
Lufthansa 1262, Brussels ground.
Positive brake, go up. Barry, I haven't done a tutorial on how to set that up actually, but it might be a good idea for something that I could look into. Nice little departure views. We'll go ahead and turn the autopilot on for now. So we can clean the aircraft up and we go back to flap 0, and with the flaps going in we can disarm the ground spoilers as well. And good to see the auto thrust isn't working properly again. So I'll just kick that in, try and wake it up again. I tend to find if you drop it out of the climb gate and put it back in again, so you restrict the auto thrust, it gives it a nudge. Let's see why we're not climbing either. Okay, let's just try and intervene there with the vertical speed. So it's still, the A320neo is still a little buggy post-patch. Even though it's been fixed with thanks to a SOBO and things. Let's see, we'll wait till we get to our transition altitude and then we'll ditch onto standard. There's Brussels. Sure. Barry, was there any particular focus that you wanted on the on that sort of tutorial? Did you want was it just interior cockpit views, or was it anything else in particular that you you wanted to see?
Ladies and gentlemen, please keep your seatbelt fastened while the seatbelt sign is on. We recommend that you keep your seatbelt fastened whenever you are seated. Toilets are located at each end of the cabin. Remember that smoking is not permitted at any time. This includes e-cigarettes. In just a few moments, we'll commence our in-flight service, offering you the chance to purchase from our selection of fresh food available today. All details can be found in your in-flight brochure. You can also purchase a selection of hot beverages together with drinks and snacks from the bar. We accept payments in pounds, euros, most major currencies, and debit or credit cards. The correct change would be greatly appreciated. And if we could be of any further assistance, just ask us as we join you in the cabin shortly.
Let's get a standard pressure. Who else have we got en route? In fact, while I think about it, we'll clear our Brussels charts and we'll start to download our aerodrome charts and approach plates for Manchester. Those of you who aren't already aware, there's a new payware add-on for Manchester Airport which is exceptionally detailed, and it's currently in early access as well, so it means that we can get hold of it at a reduced price basically, with all of the updates included for free in the future, which is so it's a win-win really, and it undercuts all of the other scenery companies and their price structures as well. So it's really well priced, and you get a lot for the price itself. I think it's $7.99 I think at the moment on macosim.com. So that's 23 right. We've got our Dane to Alfred plates, parking, docking, and general aerodrome chart. So we're over 10,000 now, so we're accelerating to our climb speeds. I can show you now, Barry, if you prefer. Basically, hit escape. This is sort of frowned upon on VATSIM, so just make sure there's no air traffic control that's going to start shouting at us. Good. So hit escape. Go to general, I think it is. Camera, and then I've changed these cockpit camera. So I've got wide angle, toggle, manual toggle. Height I've set to 35 instead of 50, and then all the rest is at 50 anyway. So that's what I've set, and then I've clicked apply and save at the end. As that's a real, I suppose that's a quick way of showing you as best as I can. Hopefully that helps. Let's clear Pushback Express. We don't need that for now. I'm not sure. To be honest, I've not updated. Hello, commentator. Thank you again for your donations. It's really appreciated. Flappy Boy, I've not updated Luke Air at all for a while now, so I've still got a couple of versions behind. I know they've created like a passenger simulations add-on and a whole lot of other stuff, but I just like the basic function of it sometimes, so I've just left it as it is for now. With a view to maybe updating it in the near future. But it's just I think it was an executable file, I think, and I just opened it and it installed itself. So let's turn that off. Shouldn't really have that on. No landing lights. So let's increase that. We're almost at DENUT. Should really be climbing up to 30,000. Actually, I'm curious to see, everybody's saying that the new autopilot is better now in open climb, so I'm just going to see what happens with that and how it... I mean, it's less vicious on that initial pitch. There we go, 24, 26, 27, 28, 29. So we're still just climbing stupidly again. So we'll intervene. So we've got Lumen, Lambourne. Let's have a look at the chart. So if I share the screen with you guys, so as always I can try and explain it. If I say that and it's not wanting to come up now. There we go. So this is our Dane 2 Alpha arrival, and we're heading in via Leicester, which is at the very bottom right of our screen. It's telling us to cross SLPs or 3 minutes before holding at 250 knots or less when at flight level 140 or below, and that's those stars here that I've drawn that box around. It's just basically just after Trent. But easiest thing to do is just make sure you've got your speed right when you hit Trent. And at the very top, Dane 2 Alpha, if I zoom into that bit, you can see at the top there we've got initial transition of 5,000 foot based on the charts, unless there's ATC, they'll tell us differently on ATIS information. And we can see there we're arriving by the N57 or Tango 420 or Q4 Airways to Trent. And then we continue on the Trent VOR to Dane, and we've got some altitude constraints here, so we have to be at flight level 200 25 nautical miles before the Trent VOR. So that's basically just after Leicester. We have to be at flight level 200, and then it says by Elvos as well, which isn't actually on the charts for us, interestingly enough, unless I've missed it. Yeah, so Elvos isn't even on there, but that's because it's a different airway. I'm not sure if it's our airway, so I'm just going to have a quick look on the flight plan. It is Tango 420, Elvos Trent. So basically when we hit Elvos we have to already be at flight level 200, and then by Dane we have to be at flight level 80. Ordinarily then we would get routed with a northerly heading or northeastern heading out from Dane to then route in for our approach on runway 23 right. At least that's what we're expecting. ILS frequency is in the middle of the charts there, it's at 109.5. And we can see that MCT VOR frequency there as well, which is the initial approach fix, 11355 for that VOR if we need to. And then we've got all of our taxi charts and things in place ready as well. So Elvos was flight level 200. So I'm just going to go into this. So stick that constraint in there. There's Tebra, which we would know if we were flying into Gatwick with that Tebra 1 Golf arrival via Sunup. And just after that we then obviously have the English coast as well. Yeah, I've not noticed the swaying, to be honest. I've been testing PRs though, so I've been testing sort of side branches of the A32NX mod. So perhaps that might be why. Let's try and calm this 90% M1 climb down, shall we? I mean, it's quite stable currently, so not too sure, to be honest, what the issue is that people are experiencing. We'll probably start our descent around Lambourne, or just before Lambourne, but I believe London Centre is online, so we'd get our vectors and our descent instructions via them. Let's have a little look. London Centre 1358 and 1271. Now I can't remember what the sectors are, so as a tip, if you're flying into the UK, I'll share it again so you guys can see. Head to that VATSIM.UK page, and then on the pilot drop down, select area sectors, and you want to join. You want to add into this one here, transiting through UK or arriving at a UK airfield, and then you can see the sector map with all of the different areas. Kessax, Abnor, Rinty. There we go, he's decided for us, 127.1. Quickly change that. So he sent us a contact me, which is a little text pop-up saying call me up, and he wants to know our flight level and what we're inbound. So we're inbound Dibley at flight level 300.
London, good afternoon, Tom Jet 7139 approaching topic descent inbound Pole Hill. Not sure if you're covering this area or if it should be LTC centre, but we'd like to start our descent if possible for East Midlands.
Tom Jet 7139, Roger, neither of us cover you at the moment, so continue with unit from 122.8.
122.8, thank you, sir.
London Centre, good afternoon, easyJet inbound Dibley at flight level 300.
easyJet London Control, hello, Dane to Alpha arrival, Squawk 0304.
Dane to Alpha arrival and Squawk 0304 for easyJet. Lovely job. There's the swaying on cruise that everybody's mentioned. So I've not experienced that yet, so perhaps maybe it's because I wasn't high enough to actually realise or see. The last time I flew on a PR, it was flight level 190 was the top altitude. We'll see if the old autopilot off and on trick comes and helps. No. So, Sec 1 or Sec 2, I can't remember which one they said to deactivate. Let's do Sec 2.
easyJet, thank you, route direct to WELIN.
Was that for easyJet 53?
easyJet 53, ASM route direct to WELIN.
Thank you, route direct to WELIN for easyJet 53. There we go, lovely, so we're getting a shortcut. So we're not going to be flying over the UK anymore, we'll be heading over sort of Luton and north above there.
EG57 Muskanky, climb flight level 240.
2240.
So I've turned off Sec 2 and that seems to have stabilised us quite nicely. I wonder if they're both modelled in the same way. Commentator, your question, decision height on the FMC. So there's two options. You've got MDA.
EG57 Muskanky, resume navigation direct Redford.
and you've got DH. The easiest thing for me is just think to myself, well, I want minimums of 100 foot above the ground. So if that's the case, I'll just do 100 foot into the DH, and that will be linked to your rad out, so it's the orange number that appears at the bottom of your primary flight display there. That 100 foot is your rad out decision height. So you'll get 200 foot, you'll get your minimums call out, or your approaching minimums call out, and then at 100 foot you'll get your minimums call out via the aircraft. So I've turned off Sec 2 over there, and I've left Sec 1 on, and we're pretty stable now. We are testing a PR at the moment, but it's not really an issue linked to that, so I suppose I certainly can't blame that pull request, because it's a wider issue. We're testing nav display improvements, I think. Let me just try and remind myself what I said I was going to be testing.
Flight level 310, inbound, keep it.
Super 09 off control, hello,
Let's see.
District 1, Gulf arrival, wind ready, descend flight level 2.
I've got such a bad memory these days. Let's see, QA chat. 2218.
District 1, Gulf arrival, when ready, down to flight level 290.
So there's changes to the terrain weather, and also when you're enabling radar modes.
Wind ready, descend flight level 230, level by Redford.
Descend ready, descend flight level 120, level at KLM 100.
KLM 100, confirm that flight level 230 by Redford.
23, Roger.
We're going to leave weather on.
2642 with you at flight level 150 for Gatwick.
2642, launch for hello, squawk mode Charlie.
Squawk mode Charlie, 2642.
It's interesting, it looks like we are losing the battle with the crosswind there, which is interesting. So let's turn Sec 2 back on. We'll just see if this changes anything. No, but then the wobbling has still stopped, so
2642, thank you. Can you just change your flight plan? Actually, I'll change it for you. It's currently showing...
If anybody ever notices issues with the autopilot and you have to turn off Sec 1,
262, Roger, you might need to disconnect, reconnect and change it again.
make sure before you commit to your approach, you turn Sec 1 or Sec 2 back on again. PR is, yes, as the commentator said, it's basically within, so before the fly-by-wire team update the master, and before they then update the latest version into the stable, there's lots of different branches from the development master, and they're all pull requests that need to be tested. So we will run loads of tests on each PR for anything that's going to be added or new to the A320nx that's going to be able to be downloaded by everybody else. So we make sure that that behaves as it should do in order to be sure basically that when it goes into the one that everyone can download, people won't have issues with it. We're losing our track slightly here.
EG853, when ready, descend flight level 200, level by Elvos.
When ready, descend flight level 200, level by Elvos, EG853. There goes the old wobble wobble. Let's turn Sec 1 off now. Wow, that was a sharp drop in the nose. Just see if this strange bobbing now rectifies itself as well. Oh, unfortunately not, Rob. They're still in development, so they're still being tweaked and changed. So when all of the new lights are ready, they will become a PR for us to test then. Call sign is EZ853, EZY853. Should I expect a message? While we're descending, now we are descending, I'm going to bring up our ATIS information for our descent brief. And we've got information Papa currently at Manchester, though that's going to update because it's half an hour old already. 2-3 rights in use, transition level, flight level 7.5. So let's go ahead and put these into our... There we go. So one of the mods that we tested a little while ago actually is now in the master, which is this. So if you get too close to your destination...
I just confirmed it was flight level 290 on its descent to.
It now then pings up saying enter your destination info.
Flight level 150 level by Kidley.
That's 150 level by Kidley, 79.
So this will keep coming on until we've input everything that the aircraft needs. QFE is 964, very low pressure.
Head up on 002, contact Amsterdam radar 125.75.
Temperature +2.
Contact Amsterdam radar 125.75.
Wind 300
300
degrees at 10 knots. So we've got a slight crosswind. We've got our rad out decision height of 100 foot there.
London, good afternoon. The shuttle 19 Mike, flight level 360, inbound to Newgrove.
Wrong screen.
London Heathrow.
Fly-by-wire system, I think, has been input now. I think it's been added in.
Speedbird, no, Speedbird, shuttle
1358, I believe, is next for us.
Hello, Janix 4 Golf Whiskey, holding Alpha 1 on the ground at Eastern.
I think.
Janix 4 Golf Whiskey, launch for hello, runway 27, clear takeoff, surface wind 27, 0 degrees, 13 knots.
Clear takeoff 27, Janix 4 Golf Whiskey.
So we've got London Centre on.
2642, confirm routine direct Holly.
And then Manchester ground by the looks of it.
2642, confirm routine direct Holly.
How would you spell that?
Apparently it's not necessarily noticeable, but apparently it's made a massive difference to the way the aircraft handles, to the point where everybody that's used it has scored in the top 100 on all of the on all the landing challenges in the sim, so it must be pretty good.
Zero information, India, unit 9078. 978.
79 to phone from London Control, hello, Logan 2 hotel arrival, when ready, DCM flight level 250, level by Logan.
Logan 2 hotel and start descent 250, level by Logan.
Quick bit of admin. Make sure I've got all my charts ready as well for any descent. We should have London off down there somewhere. That's the Thames going in. So London Heathrow is sort of underneath where the sun is. Probably not head back to Brussels, no. There's no, beyond London there was no ATC coverage except for a couple of Langan radar and a few other bits. So ready meals. I haven't tried this latest update, but
Full Golf Whiskey, repeat passing altitude.
I'm not sure. I've not had any issues with it yet, but I've noticed that it's a wider issue with the way Microsoft Flight Simulator is dealing with a lot of add-on scenery. So I've noticed it at quite a few airports, including Gatwick and a few others.
KLM 7 Bravo at flight level.
You need to manually, you need to check the RadNav page and make sure that ILS frequency for your runway is input, because at quite a few add-on airports that's blank, so you have to manually input it. Without that, then obviously the aircraft won't be able to fly anything. But the live stream 2 days ago we flew into Manchester and it was absolutely fine. Typical sim behaviour though, so it was slightly to the left of the centre line, but we flew it in manually anyway.
So just have you informed Roger, the air have recently changed, but they're pretty much the same anyway, so Logan 1 hotel arrival.
Okay, Logan 1, thanks.
So approaching that flight level 200 now, well early, because it was level by Elvos, but we are well and truly there already basically. And let's go ahead and how far away are we?
2642, D7 flight level 150.
Let's put the seatbelt signs on.
17 flight level 150.
You put constraints on as well. That said,
London Control, good afternoon, Ryanair 24, Delta Hotel, Clacton 1, Echo departure 4,000 feet.
Ryanair 24, Delta Hotel, London Control, hello, climb now, flight level 200.
interesting.
Climb now, flight level 200, Ryanair 24, Delta Hotel, thank you.
EG57 Whiskey Yankee, contact Amsterdam radar 125.
I've already put that in once.
750, goodbye.
125, decimal 750, EG57 Whiskey Yankee, thanks for the service, cheers.
Bye.
There we go, so that's input now. So we've added our constraint for 200 there, and we should have, apologies for the bad zoom. So Trent, annoyingly, is all messed up.
London, good
Dane,
afternoon, Jet 7139 with you, passing flight level 116.
should be 8,000.
7139 on the shore, register by Great Bay, KLM 7 Bravo, climbing up flight level 190.
We'll just put 10,000 in there just to see if that changes.
Jet 7139 on the shore, hello, vectors island from my 27 east, but then turn right heading 110 degrees.
So manually input.
Roger, vectors ILS 27 right, 110 down to 8,000, Tom Jet 7139.
Yeah, you should give it a go. Start with the small airports with just a couple of taxiways and maybe one runway, just so that you get used to all of the stuff you have to say and all the stuff you have to do.
Ladies and gentlemen,
we will shortly be landing. Please ensure your cabin bag is safely stowed with your bags on
contact Gatwick Director 126-7825.
armrest down and window blinds open. You now need to be seated with your seatbelt fastened, ready for landing. Please help us by handing in any
Panic to Omar Shuttle 32 Alpha level 360 requesting descent.
The toilets are no longer in service.
Omar Shuttle 32 Alpha on shore, hello, Tebra 2 Golf arrival. Squawk 0341.
That's a 973 now. 973.
Director 12685.
That's a bit better. I put the threshold QFE on instead of the QNH. So always double check.
North Shuttle 32 Alpha, Tebra 2 Golf arrival. Squawk 0341.
Tebra 2 Golf and 0341 North Shuttle 32 Alpha.
London, good afternoon, the Shuttle 19 Mike with you, flight level 350, just coming up to Nukla.
Yeah, maybe not. I wouldn't use the call sign of one big flappy boy.
Shuttle 19 Mike London Control, hello.
Pick something easy.
And when ready, descend flight level 290.
And pick an aircraft that you are comfortable with flying as well.
290, be just after Nukla.
Shuttle 19 return squawk 0340.
Turn that down. I've noticed we've got weather on, but it's not picking up.
Shuttle 19 Mike.
KLM 7 Bravo, climb flight level 230.
There we go, that's better.
Flight level 230, KLM 97 Bravo.
Ryanair 24 Delta Hotel, route direct absent.
Lufthansa 18907 on flight level 230, climb flight level 250.
Lufthansa 1897, Roger, I don't cover you, on a Unicom 126.8.
122.8.
Got his dog in the tower.
Ryanair 24 Delta Hotel, direct Upton.
So we're just waiting for our next descent vectors now as we make our way into Manchester. Flappy Boy, one thing it would be good to check as well is if you go on to simaware.ca, you can see where there's air traffic control coverage, and make sure you put on your remarks that you're in Microsoft Flight Simulator and it's your first ever VATSIM flight as well, so that they can help you out.
Have to leave our upstairs to request current stood Dublin. We have information access.
Ryanair 3297, standby, break, Tomjet 7139, descend to altitude 3000 feet, QNH is 972 Tabasco.
Roger, down to 3000 feet, then QNH 972, Tomjet 7139.
Sugar 905 uniform, stop descent, flight level 230, your cleared level is flight level 250.
Stop at 230.
So I've come back in thinking we were near Welin, it was a right turn, so I just need to monitor what the aircraft's doing.
North Shuttle 32 Alpha, descend flight level 200.
Level 200, North Shuttle 32 Alpha.
Okay, in that case, just get on it then. Log in and do a nice sort of flight somewhere.
Kind of in total. Standby, break, Tomjet 7139, right heading 180 degree.
Right 180, Tomjet 7139.
Elvos is in 30 miles for us.
Shuttle 19 Mike, descend flight level 200.
By then we should be getting descent down to 8, flight level 80.
200, shuttle 19 Mike.
Gen X Full Golf Whiskey, monitor Unicom 122 decimal 8.
Unicom, Gen X Full Golf Whiskey. Control, good day, Kilo 161, departing flight level 1.
Just remind myself, sec 1 is still off.
Yeah, 161, Roger, don't cover you, so monitor Unicom 122 decimal 8.
Let's turn it back on.
So that will switching Unicom 122 decimal 8, Kilo 161.
Sugar 905 uniform, on flight present heading.
Sorry, say that again, Sugar 905.
Sugar 905 uniform, flight present heading.
Flight present heading, speed 905 uniform.
So we should get
905 uniform, descend flight level 160, level by Sabre.
Further descent before we reach Elvos,
160 by Sabre.
We then need to get down to 8,000
hello, it's going to name it 284 with you, flight level 3
by Delta 312 Echo, which
kind of in total on shore,
should say Dane, but the sim doesn't recognise that.
0374.
Which is a bit annoying because they just updated the air racks, and you'd think that's also then caused refreshes of waypoints and things, but apparently not. So we're chasing the sunset by the looks of it again.
You can contact Gatwick Director 126 decimal 85 100 your Unicom.
46 85 back.
KLM 446 on patrol. Roger. Tomjet 7139, taking you through the localizer for track miles, 10 right heading 360 degree.
He might, by the looks of it, the other London centre has gone offline, so
we left just bleed some speed off, otherwise we're going to be too fast and too high, sir.
Doing average 10 left heading 320.
Left 320, Tomjet 7139.
London Control, speedbird 271 Papa. flight level 190, direct
Just going to take a quick screen
Number 2, someone
snip
Papa
of that,
Oscar, Roger, climb flight level 240.
just for testing
Climb flight level
and writing our
240,
report and things up after.
Civet 905 uniform, resume and navigation direct Lambourne.
Direct Lambo through at 925 uniform.
Run at 24 Delta Hotel, Monmouth Unicum 122.8.
128, run at 24 Delta Hotel, bye bye.
Oh, don't say that.
284 is ready for descent.
Scanning in Takeoff, Roger, D7 flight level 250.
I'm flying to Gatwick a lot, so I'm hoping they haven't broke that with any updates. I know they needed to update a few of them because the Kunav 1 Golf arrival wasn't listed correctly and a few other things, so hopefully they're now included. So we need to see if hopefully Unreal Weather pulls the METAR in for Manchester as we make our way in, so it'll be raining when we get there.
Shuttle 19 Mike, speed 280 knots for greater.
I wonder if he's going to put us onto Unicom. Let's have a little look.
Contact 7139, send us heading 300 degrees. Clear dial left runway 27.
Left 330, clear dial left.
They've still not updated the ATIS for Manchester.
Yeah, 53, Monmouth Unicom 122.8.
Damn. Monmouth Unicom 122.8 for easyJet, thank you, bye.
Civet 905 uniform D.
So we've left his sector. It's now down to us. As we're passing Elvos anyway, let's get down to 850, flight level 80. Let's get that back onto real money. And we'll use this opportunity to start to slow the aircraft down as well, so we'll target 235 knots. So we're going to be on Unicom unless other services come online up until we land by the looks of it, and then it'll be 121.8 for Manchester ground. So we can pop that in ready. And I'm watching the weather radar as well, because that's one of the things we're testing. Changes to the nav display, some subtle differences, just to see how that behaves as well. We reach Manchester just before the sunset builds in. We can see actually that METAR data. We've got a couple of red blips coming in now, so hopefully that shows that we're going to get some weather as we make our way in. We're using Unreal Weather, which is basically like Rex but free. To have a quick look on vPilot again just to see if anything's online. And Gatwick, as always, has got full service. It's got approach, tower, ground, clearance, the lot. Manchester's just got ground currently. Hello Sams, welcome. So we know roughly what we're going to be doing from the charts. We could, in fact, fly that VOR intercept as per the charts, but I'm going to fly, I'm going to vector myself in as we did the other day, roughly based on what ATC have told us to do in the past. So And we're watching that nav display change with the new METAR that's being fed into the system as well, which is nice. Let's update that to 973. I like to do it while we're descending because then it doesn't mess with the autopilot when we reach flight level 80. And we're going to vector ourselves in, so once we hit Dane in a couple of, we've got 12 miles till Dane, we'll then fly a heading of maybe 350 degrees, so we can continue our descent down to 3,000 feet. We'll go half speed brake just to try and bring that speed down below 250 knots. As always, if there's any questions any of you guys want to ask about anything as we make our way in, then just let me know on the live chat. There is about a 1 minute delay between you answering and me replying, so please bear with me with that. The second I see it, I will answer, but it will take a while for it to feed through, annoyingly. So make sure as well you join us on Discord. I've seen that the bots just put something up there for that. And there's a group flight that we're doing to celebrate hitting 500 subscribers on Sunday. We're going to fly from the fantastic Corfu airport with the freeware scenery, which was featured on my video yesterday. And we're going to head over to Skiathos, which was also on that top 5 airports, freeware airports video. Which, if you haven't already, check it out and have a little look. And we've got quite a few more clouds building in now, which is quite nice. So instead of getting some small fluffy cirrus, we're angling in more towards cumulus.
Lining up runway 23 right. Fly Juliet.
So Trent into Dane. Once we hit Dane, we're going to leave Dane at flight level. We're going to head 350 degrees. We're going to pass 10,000 shortly, so I'll put the landing lights on. I might have to have a look. I'll have a look on the Gatwick charts just to see if I can see what you mean. RDH 55. So that's going to be probably required. I can't remember exactly what that means now. I feel like that means required decision height. So you have to see the runway before 55 feet, I think, off the top of my head. I can't quite remember, so if anyone else knows, then just let me know in the live chat. So we've got speed 230. Let's bring that down now to, oh, there we go. Look, we've hit our decel, so now we're in approach phase as well. So let's put that back into managed speed, and we'll go heading 350 degrees. Definitely, I definitely recommend Unreal Weather, most definitely. So if you haven't already, get that downloaded. It's completely free, so it's no issue for anyone. Don't have to worry about paying for anything. Nice, thank you. It's good to know actually the exact definitions of a few things like that. We can get rid of the weather data now. We know we're going to be flying through possibly some turbulence, some rain and some other bits. And knowing that there's hills on the south part of Manchester, sort of around this section here, we'll put terrain on because we're going to descend through cloud and we can't quite see where we're going, so the weather radar is going to tell us otherwise. We've reached that decision height, so it's flashing and telling us there to go to local QNH. Manchester traffic, easyJet 53 is left Dane heading 350 degrees, descending 3,000 feet, expecting ILS 23 right. Check on
Manchester traffic, around a 3 Delta Mike now airborne off runway 23 right on the Cookson 1 runway departure south.
EGCC North Tower online, lovely, so 118625. So quickly change this. Oh, it takes a while, doesn't it? Scroll, 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 scroll. And then ground was 12185. So that's ready. 119. Oh, what have I done there? Yeah, 118625. Perfect. And I'll just double check ATIS, and that's now Quebec. So QNH is still 973. You can see this all this terrain coming into play now for us. And we can just sort of see parts of Manchester through the cloud below as well. Oh, bad zoom effort there. So we'll go ahead and stick landing mode on. We're picking up that ILS frequency. We can see some yellow on the terrain, so we actively want to try and avoid that where we can. But it is very hilly around this part of the world. Magic, yeah, it's hello, welcome, and yeah, it is my favourite at the moment. So we're in landing mode there. We could go flaps 1. Cabin crew. Let's turn terrain off. We're level at 3000. We're not going to conflict with anything further, and we want ILS mode on. 10 nautical miles set. Spoiler armed. We'll go flaps 2. Let's check V-pilot for that ATIS again. The surface wind's actually 280 at 7 knots. And temperature is still 2 degrees, so we're going to be in the cloud for a while, which is going to make it difficult because the ILS is a little bit messed up from the patch, so it's certainly going to be interesting for us. Rob, are you by any chance spawned in a Lufthansa getting ready to fly to Munich? Quick look on the terrain. Good. So what I'm trying to do is just vector myself in so that we're hitting that final fix there nicely. And then as always we're intercepting that ILS with the glide path early. Manchester Tower is online. It sounds like we're going to be the first in with them in service, so Quebec. we'll tell them we've got information Quebec, and we'll tell them we're an A320neo. And I'll just make sure I've got all the secs back on. Yeah, so sec 1 and sec 2 are on. You don't want to fly the approach with them off. I turned terrain mode on because there is low terrain around Manchester, or high terrain around Manchester, and we're in zero vis at the moment, so we need to know what we're flying into. Spec, I'm on a Ryzen 5 3600X processor, just intercepting the ILS now. Manchester Tower, good evening, easyJet with information Quebec, Airbus A320neo intercepted the ILS, runway 23 right to land. So it's not done too well actually at tracking that. Readability 1.
Easy 853 Manchester Tower, radio check.
Readability 5.
Nah, small mic issue. Easy 853 Manchester Tower, hello, continue approach 23 right.
Continue approach 23 right, easy 853. So we're now on the glide, and we've got our approach speeds and everything set as well. We'll just make sure that blue wheel, just as a tip, if you have to go around, make sure that blue arrow, because we've been using manual heading select, bring that in line to runway heading. So if we do have to go around, we can fly it manually initially, and then we can add the autopilot in, and it shouldn't throw us off with any erroneous issues. Looks like we're not too bad. We're slightly left of the glide slope again.
Runway 23 right, you clear to land, surface wind 280 degrees.
Clear to land 23 right, easy 853. GPU of a GE Force 2070 Super. Good gear down, we're 8 miles or so away. We've got flaps full. We'll turn engine icing off. We'll leave wing icing on. You can see here we've got the volumetric lights lighting up our approach. So I know now, I think the new Manchester Airport scenery have had a couple of approach lights and things added in, which would be quite cool. Hopefully we see those today.
Good evening. This is subject 4 Papa, we're approaching Juliet 1 on Juliet.
It's miserable weather today.
Papa, Manchester Tower, hello. Behind the landing, easyJet A320 via Juliet.
There's a guy above.
Runway 23 right behind.
Roger, behind me arriving easyJet A320 right behind via Juliet.
It looks like we're flying the ILS nicely. Mainly high, but with a few things tweaked to ultra. Just have a quick look at the charts. Let's see, we're probably going to exit a Bravo Delta. There's our runway in sight now, and some rain as well, which you mentioned was happening at the moment, Rob. So good shout. Nice to see that the METARs are working. But with rain, we should not have icing. There we go. Good. The icing's disappeared there. So now I can go ahead and turn.
Tower, hello, Tomjet 2782, we're approaching Mike 1.
Icing off.
Tomjet 2782, Manchester Tower, hello, hold Mike 1.
Hold Mike 1, Tomjet 278.
So there's a load of aircraft on the hold points down here waiting to depart. Looks like it's quite busy actually at the moment in Manchester. So we do, all our checklist for landing is all good. Oh dear. Sorry about the bot. You know what, I'm going to turn these wipers off. They're annoying me. It's actually flying the ILS quite nicely today. This is unreal weather, Armin. Yeah, that's pretty dope. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm gonna have to watch his stream later to try and get myself on the channel. So see at one of these hold points, he's one of those guys there. Oh look, there's a Jet 2 hangar in the distance. That's absolutely stunning. New approach lighting. Let's go manual. I have control.
Manchester Tower, good afternoon. Speak with 333, holding point Mike 1 behind the Tamajet, Boeing 737.
Speedbird 333, Manchester Tower, Roger, hold Mike 1.
This is such good payware scenery.
Hold Mike 1, Speedbird 333.
Go reverse thrust. A little playful on the rudder then.
This is Monarch 54, we're on Juliet.
Monarch 54, Manchester Tower ahead.
Monarch, lovely. There we go. Easy853 vacating at Bravo Delta.
Easy853, thank you. Vacate right onto Bravo and then contact the ground 1-to-1 correction. 1-to-1.85. Goodbye.
Right onto Bravo and contact ground. Thanks for your services, Easy853. Take out.
Tomjet 41 Papa, runway 23 right, you cleared takeoff, the surface wind 280 degrees 7 knots.
Close takeoff runway 23 right for Tomjet 41 Papa.
Tomjet 2782 behind the company 757 via Mike 1 line up 23 right.
So Bravo's that one.
Company 757 via Mike 1 line up and wait, runway 23 right behind Tomjet 2782.
Let's get rid of some of these. And let's switch. So we've got to get our stand number.
Manchester ground, good afternoon. FedEx 357, request push to start.
FedEx 357 after the Neptune 778 passes behind.
Lovely.
Left,
that's a bit of a celebrity endorsement right there then, I think, guys. I'm happy with that.
Neptune 1-3 Golf, continue taxi, holding point, Mike 1, 23 right via Alco, correction Echo, Delta, Papa, Kilo, Juliet.
Oh, what was that?
Holding point Mike 1 via Echo, Delta, Papa, Kilo, and Juliet, Neptune 1-3 Golf.
The middle of Quebec, is that Ryanair in front of us?
Just wait here for some ATC to clear us.
I think
yeah, get that clip on
sorry, maybe it's just my
Discord for me.
It just looks a wee bit close to my aircraft, but that's probably just my model matching, so my bad, sorry about that.
Okay, no. Or is this just in front of you now?
Yeah, that's perfect,
Manchester ground, good evening, Easy853 is vacated 23 right on Bravo currently, request taxi to the gates.
Easy853 Manchester ground, hello, taxi Bravo, hold Bravo 3.
Taxi Bravo, hold Bravo 3, Easy853. So Bravo 3 is just this intersection coming up further ahead. Let's see, so this first left coming up is Delta, we don't want that one.
Midland 58 Quebec, contact Manchester Tower 118.625, bye bye.
Just positioning around because I'm trying to get.
Thanks very much, have a good evening.
Good grief.
You too.
We'll just chat on the thing. I'm trying to get a good little screenshot for Mako Simulations for his little competition thing on his Discord. And has Chewie departed yet, guys? Do we know? Bravo 3 is just this intersection coming up ahead.
Easy853 after the West Atlantic 737-800 passes left to right on Papa,
Taxi stand 11 via Bravo and Juliet Echo.
After the West Atlantic 737, taxi to stand 11 via Juliet Echo, Easy 853. I think that's Chewy there, isn't it? Let's see. Off he goes into the murk. And snap back so I don't hit this guy. Get in trouble else. APU's available. That's a KLM. But I don't suppose there's a West Atlantic. It was a 737, so he's good. And Juliet Echo, wasn't it? So that's Bravo, straight across, and then into this cul-de-sac just ahead. And stand 11 is the second one in. It was a Virgin A330 just spawned. So I'm just catching up on the chat. Thanks for tuning in, Sams. If you haven't done so already, make sure you click that subscribe button, guys, and join us as well for the group flight that we're going to be hosting on Sunday. So we're going right onto Juliet Echo.
Lufthansa 8 November Bravo, contact Manchester Tower.
You can see stand 11 just there for us. Thanks to the Manchester Airport scenery add-on. We've got all our stand numbers in place now, which is awesome. So just as we turn in,
357 request taxi, and we're on default scenery.
We'll turn our taxi light off.
7 or taxi holding point Mike 1, runway 23 right, via Echo, Delta, Papa, Kilo, and Juliet.
Echo, Delta, Papa and Juliet for Mike 1 for FedEx 357.
For those of you who haven't already, make sure you join our Discord. There's a giveaway at the moment to win 2 copies of this Manchester Airport scenery. If you don't fancy taking your chance to win one of the copies, then head to macosimulator.com as well. And get yourself a copy while it's early access, because it's on a deal at the moment. So we can get all of this fantastic scenery at a cheaper price. And it includes all the future updates, which is awesome.
Manchester Tower, 118.625 to that.
There we go.
118.625, thanks, that's great.
A320 was that one there. Even the little details, like all these extra stand numbers and things, are all in place. It's awesome to see the Jet 2 hangar getting built in the distance as well, and a couple of other engineering blocks being built at the moment. And then Terminal 2. The pier, for example, isn't even on Google Maps yet. The guy from Mako Simulations doing all of this has already put the work in and started modelling it, so he's even ahead of... let's put our squawk back off. He's even ahead of Google Maps, which is awesome. Engines are off. Yeah, just one flight today. Just trying to squeeze in a live stream for you guys while I had the time.
Good day, Shuttle 3 Romeo, ready for boost start. Shuttle 3 Romeo, Manchester, going to low, stand 25, pushing start, approved.
Commentator, hope you can make the group flight, it'd be great. There's quite a few people said they can already, and quite a few maybes as well though, so hopefully we get a few more showing up soon for it. Love Manchester at night, it's absolutely fantastic. I can highly recommend the scenery. It's the only payware airport that I've actually got for the sim, actually, except for London City Orbex, but that's pretty naff, to be honest, and they haven't even bothered updating it either, which annoys me a little bit. So I can highly recommend this. That's going to conclude our live stream for today. I'm just going to see if I can toggle any jetways or any steps or anything. So I can toggle the steps there. Oh yes, they're coming to the door. Baggage. So this is Pushback Express doing all this. Oh yes, look at that. It's the first time I've seen steps actually come onto the aircraft.
257, make the next left onto Charlie, please.
That's awesome. I like that. Anyway, what was I saying? I got excited by the little things. Make sure you hit subscribe if you haven't already, if you're new to the channel. And make sure as well you guys join us on the group flight on Sunday if you can. Join me on Discord as well. And check out the Manchester Airport scenery. As we can see here, it's pretty awesome. Love the steps. That's awesome. It's definitely like one of my... It's the little things for me that I really like. When the things work in the sim, it makes it pretty good. There we go, got catering, the whole shebang. There we go. So that's it for today, guys. I might try and fit another live stream in tomorrow. Give me suggestions of any routes that you'd like to see on Discord as well. It's quite hard factoring all these, deciding which airports to fly to and from and things. So I'm always happy to get suggestions of where you guys want to see us travel to. And
Manchester ground, Ryanair 66 uniform at stand 50, Chris Pushback and start.
Shouty, shouty.
Ryanair 66 uniform, Manchester ground, hello, stand 50, pushing starter through face west.
There's no 737 in Microsoft Flight Simulator yet, but this is some of the model matching tools that we use on other videos that are all linked into this as well. The catering truck coming to the front, I'm not sure if it's something done by FS2 Crew Pushback Express, but it comes to the front first and then goes to the rear, or goes to the rear first and then moves to the front. I'm not sure if it's Pushback Express that have unlocked that or not, but it does both doors, which is sweet. So I'm not sure what the answer is to that one, I'm afraid.
Shuttle 3 Romeo, second.
Shuttle 3 Romeo, ready for taxi.
Shuttle 3 Romeo, roger, taxi, hard point Mike 1, runway 23 right, via Lima, Papa, Kilo, and Juliet.
Taxi via Lima, Papa, Kilo, and Juliet on the Mike 1, Shuttle 3 Romeo.
Well, that's going to conclude it for today anyway. Hope to see you all on Sunday for the group flight from Corfu to Skiathos, with all of the freeware sceneries as well. Join us on Discord, as I've already mentioned, and hope to see you guys for another live stream sometime soon. Might squeeze one in tomorrow, so we'll see. Thank you all for tuning in. Really appreciate every one of you joining me on the live streams. And thank you all for watching. See you soon.
FedEx 357, contact Manchester Tower, 118.65, bye bye.
Manchester Tower on 118.65.